Yeah, the intercontinental free trade of Africa, the conversation itself has been ongoing for far too long. But how would we rate the progress of its impact within the continent when, as it stands, you still have many countries doing business with other countries? Take rice, for example. There's a huge number of rice importation into Africa, but you do have few countries in Africa that are into rice exportation. But how many of these countries even purchase from other African countries? We do a lot of trade out of the continent, and it's not to say that some of these items are not found within the continent. What has been the progress of the Intercontinental Free Trade Agreement?
Thank you, Phoebe, and you're very right. We still have a long way to go as far as full implementation of the AfCFTA is concerned. But we also need to bear in mind that the AfCFTA started or came into effect in 2021, and we're in 2025, so let's say it's about 4 years going now. So we do have, there's been a lot of gains, I would say, because, and we need to also understand the framework and the scope of the AfCFTA implementation. There are a number of, we have 54 countries across the continent. Imagine having to harmonize, the trade regulatory frameworks across all of these continents into one, continental marketplace. It's going to take a while, and these value chains that have been created over the years by various countries in terms of where we source our products from, especially in terms of commodities. You mentioned rice. Rice is one of those commodities that is widely consumed by the African, population. There are things such as sugar, there's cement, there's fertilizer. Value chains have been established years, over decades. It doesn't take 4 years or 5 years to break that kind of, routine. Okay, it takes a while. First, we need to ensure that we have developed capacity as countries, as a continent. So first within the countries and then as a continent fully. So now the capacity within each country is being developed. And then we are saying, let's promote intra-Africa trade. So we're doing many things at the same time. So it's going to take a while for it to bloom, for us to see the network effect of all of what we're doing. So for us, I would say, let's be patient with ourselves. But again, let's be consistent in terms of the gains that we are achieving. Let's not be complacent to say that, okay, you know what, maybe Nigeria today is self-sufficient in terms of fuel or is refining X capacity. Today, Nigeria has, a huge refinery capacity. Other countries are beginning to, identify what their strengths are and then developing, the capacity to be able to supply into the continent. We need to keep those milestones, those efforts consistent. We have to be very consistent and deliberate. It's a continuous effort, and it's not going to take 5 years, even 10 years. It's going to take a longer period. But as we're doing that, we need to also ensure that the value chains within the sectors that we are looking at are also being developed so that we can benefit from the entire value chain. Today, we're doing a lot in terms of clothing. We are promoting African wear and all of that. But how much of the value chain within that are we controlling? Not much. So you see, there's still a lot of gaps, yes, but I believe that the gains have been substantial, and over time we will get there. So I would say, in rating it, well, I wouldn't ask the AfCFTA to come for me right now, but I would say it would be about 30 to 40%, but we're getting somewhere from where we were before.